there, my name is Mike Munzing. Good to have you with me. I'm with Munzing Mortgage Group. I've been a lender down here in Orange County about 21 years. Love bringing these videos to you, letting you know what's going on in the market, in the lending world, in the real estate world. This week we're going to touch on the foreclosure numbers again. Each month I get those and we kind of cover those, see where we're at. They are heavily affecting our market. You know, things have slowed a bit. We're going to be having some more product coming on the market. But before we jump into that, as I always do, I want to remind you to go to my website at www.mikemunzing.com. See where those rates are. I've got all kinds of great tools, tips, things there for you. But the rate sheet this week, they have remained flat. Now, the bonds for the week, which is what controls the rates, the treasuries, the bonds, hasn't been a good week. But those lenders, the investors out there that we are working with, that I am working with, are doing their best to keep the rates low. We've got 30-year fixed conforming right down there in the very low fours. The 5-1 interest onlys, which I'm not a big fan of, they're in the twos, about 2.75. So that's fantastic. Print that, take it to your open house, go through my site, find some other flyers, see how much home can you afford, some of the other flyers, take those as well. They're fantastic. Gets that conversation going with those buyers, and hopefully we'll put some deals together. Call me with those buyers too, by the way. Don't forget to call me. But now I want to bring up the foreclosure report for the month of August. Now you can pause this video and go to my website and print the report. It's got all the charts, got all the graphs here, and you can print that. It is from Foreclosure Radar, which is www.foreclosureradar.com. My good friend Sean O'Toole up in Northern California puts this together. It's a fantastic report, comes out monthly. You can get it online. What I advise you guys, the realtors, to do is subscribe to this. If you're trying to sell folks foreclosures at all, he charts nearly all the properties in California and what's going on with them and where they are in the process. So if you're a subscriber to it, you can get all that information. But now let's jump up to let me grab these here, the charts for the month of August. I like to run through these really quickly so you can see what's going on in chart form. But the notices of default, we're going to go through the process as it goes on here. The notice of defaults is about 31,120 properties in California had the notice of defaults filed. That's the first filing. When you've fallen behind 60 to 90 days, they file the notice of default. And that is actually up quite a bit. These lenders are starting to ramp up quite a bit. So that is up 16.68% for the month. You can see it trickled down. It's starting to trickle up again a little bit. Next is the notice of trustee sale. Now this has been kind of up and down across the month after month, but that is only up about 2.69% to a level of 30,726. You can see on the far end of the chart there. There's been so much hampering and getting involved here by the federal government, the state government, trying to hold off these foreclosures. Finally, the banks are starting to loosen up. You may have heard that on the news. They're starting to loosen up and try to move some of these properties through. Next would be, once these two filings are what's going to happen at the sale. So this is the properties that have gone back to the bank at the foreclosure sale, and that is up 20%, about 20.27% to 14,369 properties. It jumped a lot this month. It jumped last month. So that hopefully will bring some more properties online for our buyers. We need to get more buyers, of course. Next, I want to bring up the properties that were sold back to to a new third party. That's those investors you know about, you hear about on the steps of the courthouse, and that is pretty much level, minus 0.43% at about 3,472 buyers, investors usually at the steps of the courthouse. I was talking to a number of them this week. It's getting pretty complicated out there, so that's why it's leveled off a bit, dipped ever so slightly. And then next would be those properties that have been canceled. Now, a lot of these have gone through those government programs to try to do the loan modifications. They've kept them on the books to see what happened here. but then at one point they do get canceled, and that has dropped for the second month in a row dropped another 11.25% to 16,828 properties have dropped from the cancellation, but that's how many did get canceled. And I guess those were the permanent modifications were in place, so they did get dropped. A couple of overall statistical numbers I want to show you here. Total number of properties that are within that pre-foreclosure, which is the, early foreclosure, the notice of defaults on that. That's up to about 155,000 properties. It jumped about 18%. So they're pushing forward on some. You saw the notice of defaults jump earlier in the video. This is the total number, 155,000 properties in that pre-foreclosure range here. You can see how that's been kind of up and down over the months for the last year. Next, we have the scheduled for sale. These are the notice of trustee sales already been filed. They're just waiting they're on the schedule. They're just waiting to be sold. That's at 123,000 properties, but down ever so slightly, just a little over 2% drop from last month. So, but still, trending slightly downward, but still at a fairly high level. Finally is the number of properties that are currently being held by the lenders. The inventory of real estate owned REOs by the lenders still need to be sold. You can see how that's jumped up at the end there last couple of months, and that was up 3.85% to about 108,000 properties. So we've got some more properties coming down the pipe. Okay, as I often do, I give you a little political update now that I am a member of the Central Committee for the Republican Party here in Orange County. I will actually be sworn in. I'm an elect. I'll be sworn in January, but we have a monumental election coming up on November 2nd. What I wanted to do is look up some of the important dates, and September 23rd, it's a few days out, the sample ballot will be coming out for the November 2nd election. I will be working on my recommendations. I got that out for the primary. A lot of you were able to use that, and that was helpful. Of course, it was fun being on the ballot, but I'm going to go through the whole election ballot. I know that's always difficult to know who to vote for. We're going to go through that, try to break it down. We have some very critical propositions here in California. Proposition 25, Proposition 23, these are critical. I'm going to go over the details. Down here in South Orange County, we have Proposition H, which has to do with the schools down here. But that ballot will be coming out on September 23rd. I'll start breaking that down at that time. October 4th is when the initial mailings come out for the initial ballots. But that'll be, if you get a ballot by mail, that'll be the case. And then finally, if you are not registered to vote, October 18th is the final date. October 4th is a big date too. That way you get mailed a sample ballot. But October 18th is the final date. Be sure you're registered to vote. This will be we want to have a record number for the midterm election. As you know, I've been very involved. I'm what you might call a founding Tea Party guy, and Tea Parties have changed a bit now, but we are really, if you've watched the primaries across the country in the last couple of months, we've been winning a lot of battles, and it's very exciting. We're making some positive changes to get a good, solid government in there to help us out in the real estate industry. They're making a ton of moves that's going to hurt us. Some of these new laws coming on the pipe are going to hurt us severely. We need to be ahead of that. And I've been trying to do that with you and for you and keep you up to date on the timing on that. But be aware. Hey, by the way, if you notice the Constitution behind me, it is Constitution Day. So here, Friday the 17th of September, Constitution Day. That's exciting too. Okay, heading into the weekend. Once again, Mike Munzing, Munzing Mortgage Group. I've worked with a lot of you. I always like to be here for you, be here for your buyers, be here to help you with different marketing ideas. You know I do a lot of unique kind of things. I make these videos. I'm on Facebook a lot. I'm on Twitter quite a bit. And if you want to follow me on those, that'd be great. And look forward to showing you how to do that, show you how to make these videos if you need to. And love to give you help and advice and guidance in that. I know it can be kind of scary if you've never done it, but it's a good area to get into and good way to get your information out to your buyers. All right, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless this country. Let's work together. Call me anytime, 949-689-5626, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
This is the house.